Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, the Corvette is back on the lift. You guys might remember the project from last week where we replaced those front aero bits that were on the back of the RPI side skirts. We replaced those aero pieces with the fiberglass pieces. We replaced them with the GM 01 pieces. Today's video actually required us to have the car up on the lift. And as you guys can see, the rear wheels are off the car. Those rear wheels are off the car because if you guys can see behind me, we've got a new set of tires put on the car. And these are a set of Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. These are a 345/30/20. Try to show you. There you go, a 345/30/20. So these Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's are a little bit oversized compared to the Michelins that came on the stock cup wheels. I believe those were either a 335/20/20 or a 335/25/20. It was a super narrow sidewall on those tires, and I have not had any luck with them. So let's go ahead and check those out. As you guys can see, the tires that came on the cup wheels that we picked up, these things are super bald. There's no tread left at all, really. I mean, there's a couple channels, but there's just not really a lot of tread or meat on them left. And also, you can see this middle. I don't know what's going on here, but on both of the rear tires, this middle strip is just completely ground flat. So to go along with the new tires, we actually of course have the tire part essentials. We have new tire nuts. Part number is 15234846, so that's the tire nut. And we have a new set of Tpms sensors, and these are GM part number 25758220. Now the tire nuts should be the same for all your C6 Corvette and probably C7, but the tire pressure sensors, they did change them several times over the production run of the C6 behind me. My car is an 05. I think it's 2005 to 2008 is one sensor, and I believe 2009 to 13 is a newer sensor. And maybe in that last year, they kind of started switching over to the C7 stuff. Double check the 2013 specifically. I'm just not sure if they're going to have the tire pressure sensor from the C6 or the C7 on the 13s, because it's that kind of conversion year, and they start getting new suppliers and all that stuff. So just make sure you check your factory manual and you get the proper tire pressure sensors, because they are not compatible. The ABS systems are completely different, and all that stuff is tied in together. So make sure you have the correct tire pressure sensors. So now that we've gone over all the parts that we'll be installing today, let's go get the tires loaded up in the truck and head over to Discount Tire. Alright guys, if you guys can see behind us, we have the old tires and the new tires and wheels and all that stuff all in the trunk. So we're actually approaching Discount Tire up here. So let's go ahead and get these dropped off, and hopefully we can pick them up tonight. Alright guys, we're back home from Discount Tire. We got the 345s mounted on the Cup 20-inch wheels. Discount Tire managed not to mess anything up. There's no nicks or scratches on any of the wheels, so that's pretty good. We did install our C6 Corvette center caps back in, and our little tire pressure, the valve stems, the black valve stems, we put those back on as well. So we are now ready to put the wheel back on the car and see if everything fits. All right guys, the wheel and tire are back on the car, and everything looks like it's gonna fit just fine. The first thing that I've noticed, at full droop, the brake duct that comes back for the Z06 stuff, the very inside edge of the tire is actually rubbing on that. But that should not be a major problem, because we're at full suspension droop, and when the car is actually on the ground, the whole rear suspension gets pushed up and in, and yeah, so we should not have any rubbing issue there. The outside edge looks like it'll be close, but I think we should be fine. But like I said earlier, if we need to, we can go ahead and adjust the coilovers and increase the shock length and get a little bit more height back here. All right guys, we have the driver's side installed here. We got the C6 caps, the black valve stem seal cover thing like we were talking about, but this side fits a little bit better. Well, that's because we're actually not running the rear brake duct on this side. It's because we have the A&A fuel pump kit, and you guys can actually see the feed line through the wheel right there. And I just got under the car and made sure the wheel is not going to rub on that, even at full droop. You obviously don't want a tire rubbing against the fuel line. That would be a bad thing. We've got like a 1/2 inch clearance, so we should be good. But we're actually not running the driver's side rear brake duct because when I installed that kit, there's no way that I could see of actually having that brake ducting in there, as well as the fuel pump lines and all that. So maybe someone has that figured out and can give me some advice on that. All right, guys, here is the car back on the ground, and the suspension has had time to settle. You guys can see that we've got kind of plenty of distance in here. We've got about 2 fingers width of space between the fender and the tire. I think we'll be good there. We're good on the brake duct and all that. And just kind of a comparison for up front. We've got 2.5 fingers. So I guess the rear could go up a little bit. You know, we obviously just need to go for a test drive and make sure that, you know, everything's not going to rub. The tendency with these wider tires, even with the 345 19s that I had, you know, those would rub occasionally. I mean, never anything bad where like the tread ever got damaged. You would just occasionally see a line on the edge of the tire, but the further you drive, that line would go away. So kind of just something to be aware of. And yeah, so that is the new Michelin Pilot Sport 4SS on the back of the Corvette. Well, that's actually going to be it for today's video. I am finally glad that we got the new tires on the back of the car. You guys will notice that we probably haven't had these black wheels on the back of the car for like almost a year. We always had the black, the gray, the comp gray Z06 wheels on it. Well, that's because those drag radials obviously had way more tread and less clearance issues than these wheels have. You know, the 20s are just, it's a real big tire, real big wheel, and everything back there is kind of tight. So, but now we finally have the proper ratio with front and rear tires. So they're both at like 1+ size, you know, and they're all the way around. And so we shouldn't have any issue with the traction control system. Other than that, like I was saying, if we have to adjust the suspension, it's really easy. Just loosen up the shock collar on the coilover. I think with the FOT coilovers, 1/4 inch of thread is something like a 1/2 inch of ride height, something like that. So if we've got to do that, we can adjust that in the future. That won't be that big of an ordeal. So yeah, that's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you guys want to know when I upload new Corvette content and, you know, further updates to this car, make sure you hit that bell notification button down below, and as always, please subscribe. And if you guys want to help support the channel, I'll try to have links to the tires, the tire pressure sensors, and the little jam nuts that are required for the valve stems. I'll try to have links for all that stuff down below, and also check out our website, BonecrrusherSS.com. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.